Hi guys, in today's video episode, I'll be talking about MVP, what it is, misconceptions around it, and types of MVP. Let's get started. First off, I want you to know that MVP is not a word, it's an acronym and it stands for minimum viable product. And this is your simplest emphasis on the simplest version of your product, which helps you to test your idea with your target audience, collect data and information about that particular idea, right? Also, in the process, help you validate it and know if you're actually building something that your users would want to go for. Let me come again. It is the simplest version of your product, which helps you test your idea with your target users, collect informations and data about that particular idea. In the process, validating it if it's actually what your users will want or not. Um, Building a product is a whole lot, right? It takes time, effort, resources to actually build a product. So imagine building a complete product without actually going to know if it is what your users want. For example, I want to build a product for Nigerians. I didn't go out to actually get to know if it's really what they want, if that problem, that is the way they want it solved. And in the comfort of my house or my company, I go ahead to build that product, complete it, and then get to the market and find out that this is not what my users want. Or maybe the ideal users are not even Nigerians. They are people who are outside Nigeria. Do you understand that? So you've wasted time, effort, and resources to build something that your users don't even want. So that is one reason why it is good to go the route of MVP. Build the simplest version. Remember, I didn't say incomplete or tacky. I said the simplest version of your product or that idea and give it to your users to interact with it so you can get valuable feedback and iterate and actually build what your users want or solve the problem in a way that your users want it to be solved. Now, what are some of the misconceptions around MVP? People say that MVP is a tacky, uncompleted version of a product. Technically, or looking at it, you might feel like that is true. But I don't like seeing MVP that way. I see it as the simplest version of my product or a product that helps me gather information from my users and know that if I'm actually on point or I'm not solving the problem in the way my users would want me to solve it. Now, another misconceptions around MVP is that it is for low budget companies or for startup or specifically for tech companies. My dear, I just want to let you know that MVP is the best thing that could ever happen to your product or your business. Building an MVP for your product or your business is the best thing that could ever happen to it. Now, imagine that you have the fund to build the product completely, and after building it, and you find out that is not what your users want. That means you spent time, you wasted time, resources, and effort, or whatever it took you to build that product in building something that your users don't even want, or not solving the problem in a way that your users want the problem to be solved. Okay, let's say that for people that say it is just for tech startups or tech companies, I'll give you a good example for a non-tech company. Imagine I want to build an entertainment industry or entertainment house, sorry, where I have a gym, I have for fitness, I have a restaurant, I have a bar, I have a club, cinema, VIP lounge, workspace. And this is what I want to build. And I've gotten the space. And I went up building this whole thing. Only for me to find that people who I want or who are around the area or that area is unsafe for people to stay out late. And imagine if I built a club. Then and we all know that clubs start very late, right? And it's an unsafe area or it's too inside that people don't feel that it would be safe for them to drive in and out without having security breaches or issues. Now I've wasted money, effort, resources, and everything it took me to build that particular entertainment industry, only to find out that people don't want to use it. But what if I started off with just a restaurant or a bar, or just the both in the same place? Extend the closing time to 12 or 1 to find out if people actually feel safe to come to the restaurant and bar and stay out that late around that area. Now, with this, I try to understand if my users or people around that area, which people that will actually patronize me are my users, right? My users or my customers will actually feel comfortable buying and staying out late in my entertainment house. Now, doing this, you've actually built an MVP that helps you to validate your idea of building an entertainment house. So you see, whether you are a tech company, a startup, a fully funded and a resourceful giving driven company, like you have all it takes to build your product or idea and put it out there. I repeat again, the building an MVP is the best thing that could ever happen to your product or business. Now, the last one I want to talk about, the last but not the least, I want to talk about is marketing. So people feel like it's just an MVP. I don't see the need to market it. You go ahead to validate the idea with few persons around you or close to a few persons, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 persons. Oh, okay, this is making sense. You start building them, and you forget that people who are around us tend to tell us, "Oh yeah, sure, it makes sense. Yeah, continue building. It makes sense. It makes sense." And family members will always tell you, "Yeah, continue. Yeah, it's nice," thinking that they are actually helping you or they are motivating you to build what you are building. But it takes only someone who has been very comfortable with you, a very close friend, to actually tell you whether you are building something that is nice or not. And how many of them would you have? But when you market your MVP, it takes it directly to your ideal users. Then they get to interact with you and tell you what they want or how they want that problem to be solved. So marketing is very important for your MVP. Whether you are a startup, a non-tech company, a tech company, it's very important that you actually market your MVP. It helps to bring your product to the right target audience to give you feedback on what you are building and also help you validate your idea. Now, what are types of MVP? How can my MVP look like? Your MVP can go as low as being an email you send out to your users, integrating other email companies like email what's it called platforms, yes, like Mailchimp, that helps you know how many minutes people spent reading that content. If they were actually, how did they interact with it? Did they click the button? Did they register? Did they? It can go as low as an email or a form. An MVP can also be a landing page where you sell the idea of what you want to build and put a simple button that either tells them to join the wait list or subscribe to get feedback or payment or pay for that particular product. So it shouldn't be like version 1 of your product. It can be as simple as possible. Remember, the goal is to validate your idea and get feedbacks from your user to know exactly how to build and solve that problem for them. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and share, especially to beginners in product management. It will really help them to get the concept of what an MVP is, because it's one of the things that a product manager should know. A product manager should know and understand and actually know how to build. And if you think there are other things that I missed out in the video, feel free to add it in the comment section, because the purpose of this video is to educate the users or people who are actually watching it. Thank you and see you in my next video. Bye.